episode of The Be Bold Show, Kweku Sintimisa, popularly known as KSM, Ghanaian talk show host, actor, and comedian extraordinaire, what he has never revealed to the media. Meet the people who attend every event you wished you could have gone to and who bring you the most comment-worthy pictures. Yes, we're talking about Talk of GH.
And join me as we take a look at the day in the life of a bouncer and all you need to know before you apply for a job, all on today's episode.
And you're welcome to another episode on The Be Bold Show. It's going to be exciting today.
Definitely. And the first guest we have for you today needs no introduction. The man that Deborah Vanessa goes and gets her fruits from, Uncle Obama, Mutombo the poet.
For the helpless, that's what I am. They say a knife for a knife, but here's my arm for your arm. Hold on tight, don't let go when you even become numb. You lose your flock of sheep when you come after the lost long, because they're waiting to be free, so when you leave, they'll run.
Well, Mutombo is a great poet whose performances I started seeing maybe 4 years ago. And I just really felt that Mutombo's kind of poetry was had the style that would very much appeal to Ghanaians and therefore make poetry, a spoken word, more popular in Ghana.
Yeah. Live.
My name is Mutombo. Mutombo the poet, real name Nanose, and I'm a spoken word artist in Ghana. I started performing publicly in 2006. Yeah, that was when this whole journey began, and I'm still here, and I'm signed to the Pigeon Music record label with likes like Mensa, Yapono, One Love, and yeah, I'm still here.
Daughters and sons should join me to see a fine tomorrow. We are not going back into time.
I get inspired by everything, basically, you know, from the things I see, from the things I hear, to art, to Mother Earth. So I basically get inspired by everything that I see and hear in my environment. When I started this thing in 2006, I was very, very political.
I'm tired of hearing my black people saying we shall overcome when they still succumb to slavery. I thought that was a thing of the past when our forefathers were arranging ships like tins of chips and whipped on their ass. Shackles on feet and hands whilst they hummed. We shall overcome. Now it's through the embassies, black people paying for visas to travel overseas, paying to be slaves in foreign lands for the dough hooked up in rubber bands, and to elope from this beautiful country of ours, Ghana.
My ultimate goal is to right wrongs with every single poem that I write. Growing up, right, I didn't speak at all. Even though I had lots of things within, like inside me to bring out, and I couldn't speak at all because I was stammering serious, you know, I was a serious stammerer. I got it from my father, all my siblings on my dad's side, we all stammer. Most of the things that I wanted to say, I wrote them down. Spoken word to me is a form of expressing myself. It's a form of telling the next person what is within me, what I am thinking about.
Mutombo, you've been doing spoken word poetry for about 7 years now, you say. How did you get into it?
In secondary school, Accra Academy, I was in the English class and we did, you know, literature. But the poems we were reading in that class was very, very boring. You know, those Shakespeare kind of poems and all that, those old in English, you have to work them out like maths before you get.
Find old English.
Yeah, they, o, me, you know, all of those things. Yeah, I think they are a little bit boring, and you would have to work them out like maths before you get them. So you know, I was in that class, and I actually fell in love with some of the books, you know, that I was reading. You know, books from black people, African people, from Ghanaians, And that was when I started writing poetry, putting them in books and storing them somewhere. So since that time, from 2005, I was like serious. I was like, this is what I really want to do. And my friends and my family were so confused because spoken word wasn't something common here.
So where I'm from, second-hand clothing can be bought at Cantamanto, popularly known as Force. North K boys be cool, but East Legon boys they pose. But when the Black Stars is playing, we all rush out to scream and they start scoring goals.
So tell us about the spoken word scene in Ghana when you decided that, okay, this is what I want to do. Tell us about your journey from there. How did you go about getting into,
When I started in 2006, like I said, there were no poets here. I only heard of one poet called Sir Black, but I never ever saw him. There were no poets where there were no open mics and all that. But my very first show outside was at this open mic called the Lyricist Lounge. It was for those who rap. So I went there and I saw the host and I was like, oh, good evening, please, I want to do something small. And was like, do I rap? And I'm like, no, but I'm a poet. He was like, what? And the host was Bushki. So I still begged him and he was like, okay, fine, I'm going to put you on. So after a couple of acts, and I remember very, very, very well, there was this guy called Trigmatic there. And I went right after him.
the Trigmatic we know?
Yes, Trigmatic. I went right after him. So I got on stage, give them my lines. It was this political poem. I gave it to them, and Charlie, the journey hasn't started since then. Way back then, it was dead. There were no poets. I would go to the National Theatre for a show, and I would be performing alongside Hip Life, guys. So, but now, I'm actually proud to say that I've inspired a couple of people to actually come out. So now there are so many poets and shows for poets. People say I am a pioneer when it comes to spoken word in Ghana. Well, it's true, but I don't want to have that title yet. I think that the journey hasn't, even started, and I have more things to do before I, listen to what they say.
Now you have an album out, Photosynthesis. Tell us about that.
Okay, so after going through shows, and I've gone through over 100 shows. I've done all the national theaters, all the conference centers. You just name it, Legon. You just name it. I've been there. After doing all of these shows, I deemed it as good to put out an album because I thought that not everybody could come to my show and really watch me do my thing. So I spoke to my manager, Panjianov, aka Overja, and was like, okay, good. I should just put out an album. It's actually plays on the science word photosynthesis, and what it means is, painting pictures with words.
What do you do to live?
But I actually studied to become a systems engineer. But poetry, spoken word was deep within me. My main hustle is spoken word poetry, and even though it's not bringing enough, it does, bring something, and I know that very, very, very soon it's going to be, very rewarding.
If you could go back and rewrite anything in your script, in your journey, what would it be?
It wouldn't be related to poetry. Rewrite. I wish my mom was still alive to see me, do this thing, because my mom was like a free woman. She would go not say do what you want to do. She wasn't that type who would go be a pilot, be a doctor, be a this thing, be a that. She actually gave us the free will to be whoever we want to be, and I know very well that if she were to be alive now, she would have been so surprised at this route because of my speech disability. Yeah, but that hasn't stopped me, from doing this thing. And I know that wherever she is going to be proud. Rewind and bring her back.
I'm sure wherever she is, she's watching you and looking over you.
Inshallah.
Yeah. So now, finally, what would you like everybody out there listening to you, watching you today, to take away with them from your story, from your journey?
First thing is, never ever want to be like someone. That's my first advice, or what I'll say first to people. Never ever want to be like someone. Don't say I want to be like Mandela. Don't say I want to be like Obama. Don't say I want to be like me. Never ever say that, because for all you know, God has given you that ability to be more than that person you want to be. Yes, think about it. For all you know, so you get to that level and like you just relax. No, so never ever want to be like someone. There is this thing deep within you that you can search and find, and pursue that thing that's within you. And secondly, I would want to urge people to think outside the box. And thirdly, I would want everybody to soar. Never ever you give up. Just keep on doing what you have to do. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You were never the man I perceive.
Lady, relax. Look at this physique. Search for branding of soul and find a label that says